So, Chapter 2 came out just a few days ago, taking a proverbial dump on my Ultimate Manastorm guide video, and frankly I couldn't be happier about it. I had a lot of problems with Manastorm as a long-term mode that I didn't really touch on in the guide video. The Spark Notes is that the boss rush style gameplay loop that discouraged, and even punished killing mobs, wasn't a satisfying playstyle for a lot of builds. With Chapter 2, they wanted to put the dungeon back into the wildcard dungeon, and in this video we'll discuss exactly how they did that. Firstly, anyone who played Chapter 1 knows the soul-crushing pain of landing on the wrong map, and playing Walking Simulator. Each second you waste just hiking in the Redbridge Mountains feels like an actual crime against humanity, as you could have done 2 or 3 other Manastorms in the time you're stuck walking to this dumb orc. With Chapter 2, that feeling is erased completely by the introduction of the loot multiplier system. Instead of straight up deleting a lot of the variety that Manastorm has to offer, the Ascension devs decided to sweeten the deal on these maps by adding multipliers to the bonzo bolts, caches, and scrolls that you get from these levels. Ranging from 200 to 500%, this makes sure when you're taking hikes, you're rewarded greatly for it. This is actually multiplied further by the consumable upgrades introduced in Chapter 2, which we'll cover in greater depth in this video. But what you need to know now is upgrading your movement speed potion increases the raw movement speed percentage provided and the duration of the buff, letting you do these longer levels way faster than you did previously. Also, when you enter a new Manastorm level, it resets all of your cooldowns, abilities, and consumables. This means you can pop a movement speed potion before clicking your portal to the next level for a huge speed boost out of the gate. Thank me later. Secondly, we all know packs of mobs are core to the dungeon experience. Clearing trash efficiently and effectively while combating their mechanics is what adds to the experience of dungeons, and has been core to the World of Warcraft gameplay loop since the dawn of time. If there was no trash, a lot of vanilla bosses would feel more like training dummies than actual challenges. Manastorms previously flew directly in the face of this, killing mobs not offering any advantages or rewards to the player. In fact, more often than not, leading to wipes and failures, as the overly abundant amount of affixes that triggered on mob deaths killed players more often than not. The community sentiment at the time was to ignore mobs and run straight toward the boss. Killing them while ignoring mobs is to not trigger their effects. This felt ultimately unsatisfying to the core Ascension experience. Generally, when a DPS is building for a dungeon environment, they take a lot of area of effect damage potential to effectively kill mobs at a great pace to reach bosses quicker. The previous Manastorm design felt like it was punishing you for choosing to construct your build in ways that felt natural to the challenge at hand. Chapter 2 made affixes a lot less common, but a lot more powerful. A hugely important change is that previously, the on-death affixes like Tornadoes and Bone Storm only affected you. Now, they affect enemies too, leading to rewarding interactions where killing mobs helps you kill even more mobs. But what changed? Why do you want to kill them now? Well, there's actually several reasons. In Chapter 2, each Manastorm boss has a soul link to the mobs in their level. This can be found on the Manastorm UI. Mobs increase the health pool and damage output of their boss, and this bonus decreases steadily to 0 as you kill more and more mobs. Once you kill the indicated amount of mobs, let's say 7 for example, the buff is completely neutralized. This is just one way that they helped encourage mob clearing. They also introduced the Treasure Keeper, the greedy demon's big brother that rewards you with gear caches. This big guy spawns when you kill mobs, and the more you kill in a level, the higher chance he has to spawn. Although he's not guaranteed in each level, taking the extra minute to clear that trash out can reward you with many more caches per hour as you journey deeper into the Manastorm. They've also introduced Klepto, a sneaky little guy that hides when you first encounter him. Going to a random location in the Manastorm you're in, if you play his sick game of hide and seek long enough and find him, you'll be rewarded with card packs. These two treasure mobs work together to make clearing Manastorms feel great. If you're going to be looking for Klepto, you'll be running into mob packs, killing them, increasing the chance for Treasure Keeper to spawn. They work in tandem for a more satisfying experience in the Manastorm. So you're grinding the new amazing Manastorm, having a great time, and getting tons of loot, but you hit a wall. What do you do now? When you fail a level and get booted out of the Manastorm, you'll find a very large quantity of Bonzo bolts at your disposal to spend. But what do we spend them on? The vendor Cogsworth can be found at both major cities and provides a veritable buffet of potions to choose from that improve your performance in the Manastorm. Although it's tempting to take one of everything and start chugging, in Chapter 2, you are limited to 4 potion options in an effort to make buffing and Manastorm specific mechanics feel different, playstyle to playstyle. A lot of these existed in Chapter 1 and have become even better, like your attack power buffer, your spell power buffer, and main stat increasers. These are still great and can get to some ridiculous numbers, allowing you to pump even further into the Manastorm. At time of recording, my muscle maxer increases my strength by 48% for 15 seconds, so if you ever wanted to play a roided up barbarian, well, that's a thing now. Although your usable potions are limited to 4, it should still be noted that essential items such as the Interrupting Rod are still usable by all players regardless of the potion choices in the Manastorm. In Chapter 2, they added a lot more items to Cogsworth, and there's some huge winners here. I've been talking to a lot of the player base in chat, and people living without these potions is truly heartbreaking. For example, the Millhouse Mobility Mixture allows caster players to move while casting their spells. This is truly life-changing as it allows you to play around boss mechanics in the Manastorm without sacrificing your DPS. I've talked to a lot of casters since Chapter 2 released who have had a problem with the Manastorm because the bosses feel anti-caster, not letting them stop to cast their spells. But this potion is a one-button solution to the problem. I recommend maxing this out as fast as you can to make playing casters a breeze in the Manastorm, as each upgrade increases the duration of this effect pretty substantially. Another upgrade I recommend every player to rush, as early as they can, is the Hardy Heal upgrade. This allows the little heart capsules that spawn from damaging bosses and killing mobs to heal you more based on your spell power or attack power, whichever's higher. This creates a feast or famine dynamic that is core to the Manastorm experience, where you find that the thing that keeps you alive against bosses most as you push higher and higher into the Manastorm is the damage that you're able to deal to them. From my own gameplay, these hearts can heal me for upwards of 50% of my max health per capsule, and it's literally the only thing that's letting me play in the difficulty bracket that I'm currently in. I don't see this as a problem, as it actually creates a dynamic system that is solely unique to the Manastorm. I recommend upgrading this as fast as possible. Going back to the Manastorm itself, there are also some really quality Ascension original Manastorm maps that they created for Chapter 2 that have fun mechanics and always sport increased reward multipliers, making them a treat to run through. Some of them even have really cool cosmetic rewards that you can get access to, but these aren't guaranteed levels, they're more secret levels that you can stumble into for awesome cosmetics, rewarding players who spend a lot of time grinding Manastorm this chapter. The Chapter 2 affixes are too dense and too information heavy for me to include in this video, so I'll be making a standalone video for affixes, treating you to the intricacies of each of them and how you can use them to your advantage in the Manastorm. I don't know about anyone else, but the Chapter 2 changes fix just about every single problem I've ever had with Manastorm. I'll be spending a frankly concerning amount of time in the Manastorm. So for all my Manastorm chads, the giveaway of this video will be a Cogsley, a little mini Cogsworth that you can summon in the Manastorm to vendor on the go. This is incredibly helpful when you end up filling your bags with all of that loot you're going to be swimming in, but you don't want to leave just yet. For this giveaway, just leave a comment answering what your favorite Manastorm change in Chapter 2 is, and leave your elune name. I'll pick a winner in 1 week from posting this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe for more Ascension content in the future. Every like and comment I get helps the channel more than you can ever know, and it does inspire me to keep pumping out stuff for you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.